Hello, and welcome to today's session. Learning Outcome LO3, Understand the Law Governing Redundancy. Today, we will explore a vital aspect of employment law. What happens when a role is no longer needed? Redundancy is a key mechanism that allows employers to restructure, but it must be balanced carefully with the rights of employees. In this session, we will examine the legal framework surrounding redundancy, including procedures, fair selection, consultation requirements, and entitlements to compensation. By the end of this lesson, you will understand how the law protects employees during redundancy while enabling organizations to make necessary changes, ensuring fairness and legal compliance. Redundancy occurs when an employee's job is no longer required due to business changes. Under the Employment Rights Act 1996, it's a legitimate reason for dismissal. It's not about performance, but a reduced need for specific roles. Examples include business closure or automation. Redundancy is potentially fair if genuine and procedurally correct. For redundancy to be lawful, it must be genuine. The employer's need for certain roles must cease or diminish. A fair selection process and proper consultation are essential. Failure to meet these criteria can lead to unfair dismissal claims. Employers must follow legal procedures to avoid liability. A fair redundancy process involves several stages. Employers must identify a genuine redundancy situation. Consultation with employees is crucial, both individually and collectively. Objective selection criteria should be used. Failure to follow these steps can lead to claims of unfair dismissal. Selection for redundancy must be objective and non-discriminatory. Criteria should include skills and performance, not personal characteristics. Unfair selection can lead to discrimination claims. Employers must justify their choices transparently. Proper documentation is essential to defend against claims. Employers should explore alternatives to redundancy. Options include redeployment, reduced hours, or voluntary redundancy. Failure to consider these can make dismissals unfair. Employees should be offered suitable alternatives before dismissal. This approach helps avoid legal challenges. Employees must receive statutory notice before redundancy. Notice depends on service length, up to 12 weeks. Statutory redundancy pay is also required. Pay depends on age, service length, and weekly pay. Employers may offer enhanced packages under company policy. Employees under redundancy notice have rights. They can take paid time off to seek new employment. Employers should prioritize suitable alternative roles. Failure to offer time off can lead to compensation claims. This support is crucial for fair treatment. Redundancy can be unfair if not genuine or procedurally correct. Discriminatory selection or lack of consultation also leads to claims. Wrongful dismissal arises from insufficient notice. Employers must adhere to legal standards to avoid these issues. Fair processes protect against legal challenges. Case law illustrates redundancy principles. In Polke v. Dayton, lack of procedure made dismissal unfair. Williams v. CompareMaxim highlighted fair selection criteria. Mugford v. Midland Bank showed the need for redeployment consideration. These cases guide employers on lawful redundancy. Proper procedures are essential. Employers should plan redundancies carefully. Early consultation and clear criteria are vital. Redeployment should be offered where possible. Accurate calculations of redundancy pay are necessary. Documenting decisions helps demonstrate fairness and compliance. Non-compliance with redundancy law has consequences. Employees may claim unfair dismissal or redundancy pay. Tribunals can order compensation or reinstatement. Employers face reputational harm and morale issues. Compliance with legal standards is crucial. Redundancy law ensures fair handling of job losses. A genuine situation, fair process, and proper pay are essential. Employers must communicate openly and consider alternatives. Failure leads to claims of unfair dismissal and discrimination. Compliance prevents financial and legal consequences. Green Tech faced a genuine redundancy situation. However, it failed in consultation and fair selection. Employees were dismissed without proper notice. This led to claims of unfair dismissal and age discrimination. The case highlights the importance of following legal procedures. In redundancy cases, several legal issues arise. Is the redundancy genuine? Was the process fair? Were employees consulted and offered alternatives? Non-compliance can lead to discrimination claims. Employers must address these issues to avoid liability. A fair redundancy process involves consultation. Employers must discuss reasons and explore alternatives. Failure to consult makes dismissals unfair. Proper notice and redundancy pay are also required. Employers must comply with legal requirements to avoid claims. Selection must be based on objective criteria. Age or length of service should not be negative factors. Discriminatory selection leads to claims under the Equality Act. Employers must justify their decisions transparently. Fair selection prevents legal challenges. Employees are entitled to notice and redundancy pay. Notice depends on service length, up to 12 weeks. Employers must meet statutory requirements. Failure to do so leads to wrongful dismissal claims. Proper pay and notice are crucial for compliance. Non-compliance with redundancy law leads to claims. Unfair dismissal arises from procedural failings. Discrimination claims result from bias selection. Wrongful dismissal occurs with insufficient notice. Employers must follow legal standards to avoid these outcomes. Case law supports the need for fair redundancy. Polkey and Williams cases highlight procedural fairness. Employers must consult, select fairly, and offer alternatives. Failure leads to tribunal claims and compensation. Legal precedents guide employers on compliance. Improper redundancy affects more than legality. Reputational damage and loss of trust are risks. Employee morale suffers, affecting productivity. Employers should document decisions and follow procedures. Compliance maintains organizational integrity. In conclusion, managing redundancy requires careful attention to prevent significant negative consequences. Should you have any questions, you are welcome to reach me by text or phone on 07000 484 361,688. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to our next session.